You can throw the Q here. Yeah, at this point, going top is the best option. The reason is simple. Right now, we are not in a position to take Drake. And Drake is not even up, to begin with. We only have 2 people alive besides Yo, and they are not even out of base. They have to leave their base. This is the perfect opportunity for you to actually generate some pressure elsewhere on the map. And this is going back to what I was saying earlier. When our teammates are recalling, when they are recalling or when they are exerting pressure elsewhere on the map, what we want to do is we want to complement that pressure by having our own pressure. We add pressure to the map so that while they are dead or they are recalling or they are pressuring somewhere else, we give them the safety of having a lane pushed in. Because then we have to force one of them, either Annie or someone else, to go top. And we are setting up a potential 4v5 on the rest of the map, because soon you're going to have TP.
True, but if you remove the marking on the map on top lane, I'm not entirely sure. Do we have the bigger wave here at the moment, top lane? I can't really see it.
I'm not sure either. But I don't think that's enough of an argument to be made, because I see what you're saying. You're saying essentially that because the wave is pushing on its own, why should I go there? But what I'm trying to say is that even if the wave is pushing on its own, getting it into the turret, adding the immediate pressure right away, is more than valuable. It's way more valuable, because right now they actually have a good amount of time to send someone top and begin a slow push from here, because the wave is closer to their side of the map, as you can see. This is way closer to their side of the map. So if they send someone over and they generate a slow push, this can end up being very bad for you, because you can lose your top outer turret and it can also impact your inner turret as well. And you don't want that to happen. So the more consistent play, in my opinion, with this situation is to go for top, shove it in, see what happens on the rest of the map. Maybe continue pushing if you can. If they shove it out, then you can shove it in again, then recall, then actually go for the Drake. Or alternatively, you can simply just what am I saying? You can stay top until Drake is about to go up, then you recall, then you buy your items, and then you go top, but you consistently pay attention to whatever is going on over here, because then you can TP in with your TP and then generate a fight. Does that make sense?
It does make sense, but I don't think I could have TP'd there if a fight would break out, because I have like 2k in my pocket. And
No, of course not here. But what I'm saying is that you will recall and you will get your items, but you will delay the recall until your team has gotten out on the map. They need to get out. Yeah. They need to first get into a position where they can actually contest the Drake, because right now they are all dead or they are in base. Right now we are in no position to either contest the vision or contest the Drake itself. We can't do that. We have to first let our team get out, then we can actually do something. And we will see this pattern, like we will see this idea, this concept repeat itself later on. So the idea here is you shove out bot so that you can generate some pressure, you force someone to come over here, and then with your team you can then go over and try to contest the Drake after you shoved out bot. And meanwhile, Ezreal is shoving mid, so this actually works perfectly well, because he is generating pressure mid in some ways, while you are generating pressure bot. Sadly though, they managed to get the Drake anyway, but now our focus changes, because now look at how the map is right now. Look at the map state. You can see that Baron is up. Baron is the next objective on the map, and we see that the bot outer turret is up as well. At this point, our focus is to generate pressure elsewhere to pull the attention away from topside, because we want to let our team get the space to lay out vision and to actually do something to set up the Baron for later use. Does that make sense?
it does make sense, but my fear is always that when I go push bot lane to generate some pressure and I don't have TP, they just going to die. The good thing was my team was pretty good and ahead, I think. So I could do this, but in other games where they aren't that ahead, it's yeah, I
I
don't know.
I don't know. I feel like that's. I don't think they were. I don't think they were too special, like in the way that they played. I think that it was more so that you believed in what I was saying, and you actually did. You know, you did what you did. You did the thing. You're doing what you're doing right now, and that is why it succeeds. Because when you believe in yourself and you are confident in actually doing it, things end up actually working better out for you. And right now, this is the perfect play because now we're setting up pressure. Meanwhile, something is happening on top and mid. And because you are doing this, you are consistently passively getting turrets. Even if your team dies, it's actually still good. Because if you get a turret, even though your team dies, that's always worth. Because the game is about turrets. The game is about getting turrets. And if you can trade your team's death for 1 or 2 turrets, then at that point that's worth. Again, even though we have gold, look at the situation on the map. Lee Sin is not out of base, Kassadin is not near this fight, and Ezreal is getting collapsed on by the Riven, who is like right around here, and the Kazakhs. At this point, Misfortune and Thresh are also going to be somewhere around this area. They're going to be somewhere around here.
And even if they are bot, they are not a threat for me, so...
Exactly. So there's no reason to actually recall, because even, yes, you have items to buy, but do you have to buy them right now? No, of course not. You can buy them later on. The more important, the more pressing matter, the more urgent thing that you have to do right now is you have to generate pressure. Whenever something is happening on the map and you can't immediately assist your team, generate pressure elsewhere. Start pushing down this lane. Go down this lane. Don't recall. Because when you recall, you're just saying to your team, okay, you guys lost, but whatever, I just recalled because I want to buy items. Whatever, we lose, GG, jungle diff, guess we lost. Guess we lost, GG.
Yeah.
See? And because...
It's more often than I'd like to admit.
Yeah, and look at this. Look at this, you're generating pressure, your team is generating pressure, you're both generating pressure, and this is all good, because they can't respond to you. Because if they respond to you, guess what? Your team is now going to push down mid and actually get it. So they have to, again, they have to keep the Kazakhs here, they have to keep the Misfortune and the Thresh there. And look at what happens now. Because you shoved out this lane, Annie came over, because she has to respond to you shoving. If you shove in a wave into turret, she has to respond, because she's the only one who can do that. Everyone else is mid. Now imagine in your average game that you play, where you actually did recall. You actually completed the recall. You listened to what I said, and you didn't care. You just want to get your items right away. What would have happened in that situation is Annie would have seen bot, seen that the turret is still up, or like she would have seen that the wave is still like right around here, dead center in the lane. And at that point, she would have thought to herself, okay, Olaf didn't continue to push, so I don't have any reason to go bot, so I might as well just go mid. And imagine if she would have gone mid, and she would have found a flank, or she would have found a pick, or she would have found a way to stun your carries and then kill them. At that point, the game is kinda over, because then Baron is up. If that happens, if they die, and Baron is up, they're just gonna go for Baron, and then it's just GG.
Yeah.
And this is all macro. This is all macro. This has nothing to do with your mechanics or Olaf. This has everything to do with macro.
Yeah.
Think about it.
My macro game is not that strong, I know.
Think about it. Like literally, the fact that you decided to shove was the difference between winning and losing the game.
Yeah.
Because you could have actually lost this at this exact moment if you hadn't shoved the wave up. You could. that could have been a possibility. But because you shoved in, now you're giving your team space while you are recalled. You're not recalling without first getting pressure on the map. And that's kind of the general rule of thumb. Whenever you want to recall, first pressure, then recall. Don't recall without adding pressure, because then you're just leaving a vacuum. Then you're just saying, oh, you guys are shoving mid. Oh, that's all cool. I'm just not gonna do anything. Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, okay, I get it.
Yeah. So anyway, let's continue. Going forward. Again, this fight was just absolute pepega. And at this point, because you don't have any summoners that can help you in team fights, you're more useful in the bot lane at this point.
Yeah.
You're
always in fear of my team dying, so I want to protect them.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If your team dies, this is actually an example of this. I want to actually highlight this moment, because this is an exact example of what I want to say. Your team, at this point, could have all died. And it would have been totally okay, because we are right here in this lane.